The Roswell crash in 1947 sparked rumors of a government UFO cover-up. But when wreckage from the incident allegedly ended up at Area 51, conspiracy theories exploded. Was it a crashed spy balloon, or something far stranger? Decades later, Bob Lazar claimed he worked on recovered alien spacecraft inside the base. Though his credentials were debunked, sightings of mysterious aircraft near Hangar 18 continue. Tonight, as you drift off to sleep, we investigate the chilling link between Roswell, secret military projects, and the persistent myth of extraterrestrial tech hidden in the Nevada desert. The Roswell incident, crash or cover-up. On July 8, 1947, a rancher named Mac Brazel found strange debris scattered across his property near Roswell, New Mexico. The local sheriff contacted the Roswell Army Airfield, and within hours, military personnel were scouring the site. The public information officer at the base issued a press release stating they had recovered a flying disc. Newspapers ran the story the next day, sparking immediate public fascination. But just 24 hours later, the military changed its story. Officials claimed the debris was merely a crashed weather balloon, displaying what they said were the remains of a radar reflector and balloon material to reporters. The incident quickly faded from headlines, at least temporarily. In 1994, the U.S. Air Force released a report that finally acknowledged the weather balloon story had been a cover-up. The real project, codenamed Mogul, involved high-altitude balloons carrying sensitive microphones designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests. These balloon trains flew at extreme altitudes and used unusual materials, including foil-coated rubber and balsa wood beams. The Mogul program was so classified that even most military personnel weren't aware of its existence. When Brazel found the wreckage, authorities had to invent a plausible explanation to protect the secret program. This admission validated decades of skepticism about the official story, but did little to satisfy conspiracy theorists. Several civilian witnesses who saw the debris before the military cordoned off the site described materials that didn't match conventional aircraft or balloon technology. Businessman Grady Barnett claimed to have seen a metallic, disc-shaped object with strange hieroglyphic-like markings. Others reported thin, lightweight metal with unusual properties, material that could crumple and then return to its original shape. The military's response added fuel to suspicions. Witnesses later described being visited by officers who warned them to keep quiet about what they'd seen. Some reported being threatened with unspecified consequences if they spoke publicly. These intimidation tactics only deepened public mistrust. The original press release about recovering a flying disc created expectations the military couldn't control. When officials later produced balloon debris for journalists, many noticed the materials didn't match witness descriptions. Major Jesse Marcel, the intelligence officer who first examined the wreckage, later said in interviews that the material shown to reporters wasn't what he'd originally recovered. He described handling pieces that were extraordinarily light yet incredibly strong, some bearing strange markings. Marcel's statements, made decades after the incident, became central to UFO researcher claims. His position as a military officer lent credibility to theories that something extraordinary had crashed near Roswell. Project Mogul was no ordinary scientific endeavor. The balloons carried arrays of radar reflectors and detection equipment that required specialized materials. Aluminum, plastic, and rubber components were designed to operate at altitudes exceeding 60,000 feet. To researchers not privy to classified programs, these materials would appear highly unusual. The balloons themselves were enormous, some spanning over 600 feet when fully inflated. Witnesses unfamiliar with such technology could easily mistake the wreckage for something more exotic. But here's where things get complicated. Not all witness accounts neatly fit the mogul explanation. Some described seeing multiple crash sites, not just Brazil's debris field. Others reported military personnel recovering intact craft, something inconsistent with balloon wreckage. Area 51, the birth of a secret base. In 1955, a team of CIA engineers and Air Force officers drove out to a dried-up lake bed in the Nevada desert. They were searching for a location to test America's newest spy plane, the U-2. The site they chose was Groom Lake, part of the Nevada Test and Training Range. Its remoteness made it perfect, over 80 miles from Las Vegas, surrounded by mountains and already under government control. Construction began immediately. Workers built a single paved runway, basic living quarters, and radar equipment. This makeshift facility would become the most secretive military base in the world, Area 51. The U-2 spy plane program required absolute secrecy. The aircraft could fly at 70,000 feet, higher than any known Soviet interceptors. But this extreme altitude came with an unexpected problem. Commercial pilots flying at 20,000 feet started reporting strange silver objects glinting in the sunlight far above them. Air traffic controllers received so many UFO reports that they created a special form to document them. The CIA later estimated that over half of all UFO sightings in the late 1950s were actually U-2 flights. Intelligence officials realized they couldn't explain these sightings without revealing classified programs, so they remained silent. This marked the beginning of government silence that would fuel conspiracy theories for decades. As the Cold War intensified, Area 51 expanded. The CIA needed something faster and harder to detect than the U-2. Lockheed's Skunk Works division developed the A-12 Oxcart, a titanium reconnaissance plane that could reach Mach 3.3. Testing the Oxcart required new facilities at Groom Lake, longer runways, advanced radar systems, and hangars big enough to conceal the sleek black aircraft. The program employed over 1,000 people by 1962, yet remained completely unknown to the public. Pilots lived on base for months at a time, forbidden from contacting their families. When one engineer's daughter asked what her father did for work, her mother replied, "He paints floors at a factory." Despite its growing importance, Area 51 didn't officially exist. The government denied its presence on any maps until 2013. Workers arrived via unmarked planes from Las Vegas. Everything coming in or out traveled under security escort. Local residents noticed unusual flight patterns and nighttime testing, but had no way to investigate. The base's perimeter used orange marker poles instead of fences, easier to maintain in the desert and just as effective when backed by armed patrols. Warning signs appeared every few hundred feet, stating in bold letters that deadly force was authorized. This show of force kept civilians away better than any fence could. The 2013 CIA declassification of the U-2 and OXCART programs finally confirmed Area 51's existence. Documents revealed it had been called Watertown Strip, Paradise Ranch, and simply the Ranch in official communications. Pilots referred to it as Dreamland. The release included photos of early facilities and some test flight data, but omitted most operational details. Any information beyond the 1960s remained classified. Even today, satellite images show the base has grown to over 60 square miles, with multiple runways, hangars, and underground facilities. The airspace above is permanently restricted as R4808 North, stretching up to 60,000 feet. Security at Area 51 evolved with the threats. During the 1960s, guards carried sidearms and relied on motion sensors. Today, cameras dot every ridge overlooking the base. Patrols use white SUVs with no markings, peering through binoculars at anyone who gets too close. The government refuses to say which agency employs these guards. They could be Air Force, private contractors, or a mix of both. In 2019, when the Storm Area 51 event went viral, the military deployed additional personnel and helicopters as a show of force. They made it clear they would protect the base at any cost. The secrecy surrounding Area 51 created the perfect conditions for conspiracy theories. With so little official information available, rumors filled the void. Some claimed the base housed captured UFOs from Roswell. Others believed it was an alien-human collaboration site. The government's policy of neither confirming nor denying these stories only made them more credible to believers. When officials finally acknowledged Area 51's existence in 2013, they stressed its role in aircraft testing, while ignoring anything more exotic. This careful wording did nothing to stop the speculation. Technological advances made Area 51's secrecy harder to maintain. Commercial satellite companies began offering high-resolution images in the 1990s. Enthusiasts analyzed every new structure, tracking construction of massive hangars and enlarged runways. Infrared photos revealed heat signatures that suggested underground facilities. The base continues expanding today, with new buildings appearing in satellite images regularly. Most remain unidentified and unacknowledged by officials. The only certainties are that work continues, and that whatever happens, there stays classified for decades. Area 51's original purpose seems almost quaint today compared to the speculation surrounding it. What began as a place to test spy planes transformed into a cultural icon representing government secrecy. The lack of transparency created a vacuum filled with theories ranging from plausible to absurd. The truth likely involves advanced aircraft testing and weapons development, remarkable enough on its own, but never quite matching the public's imagination. The base remains active because its isolation still serves a purpose in an era where privacy is harder to maintain. The orange poles marking Area 51's perimeter aren't just physical boundaries. They represent the line between what the government chooses to share and what it keeps hidden. Every new generation discovers the base and brings fresh theories about what happens inside. Some people devote their lives to watching the skies above Groom Lake, hoping for a glimpse of something they can't explain, and most see nothing unusual. But in the absence of facts, even ordinary events take on extraordinary meaning when they occur in the shadow of those empty desert mountains. The SR-71 Blackbird, speed stealth and secrecy. The SR-71 Blackbird emerged from Area 51's classified workshops as one of the most advanced aircraft ever built. Developed under the codename Project Archangel, this reconnaissance plane could reach speeds exceeding Mach 3.2 over 2,200 miles per hour. Its operational ceiling peaked above 85,000 feet, where the curvature of the Earth became visible. These capabilities weren't matched by any other aircraft then, and still haven't been surpassed decades later. The Blackbird wasn't just fast. It was specifically designed to evade detection. Its radar cross-section was smaller than a single passenger car, making it nearly invisible to enemy tracking systems. Engineers achieved this through revolutionary shaping techniques and special radar-absorbing materials coating the airframe. Lockheed's Skunk Works division faced enormous challenges building the SR-71. Conventional aluminum alloys couldn't withstand the extreme heat generated at Mach 3 speeds. Friction heated the plane's titanium skin to over 500 degrees Fahrenheit during flight. Engineers had to source titanium from the Soviet Union itself through shell companies, since America lacked sufficient supplies. Working with the metal proved difficult. Titanium reacts explosively with standard cutting tools. Workers developed new machining techniques using carbide bits and specialized coolants. The construction process required building tolerances far tighter than commercial aircraft. Panels were designed to fit loosely on the ground, since thermal expansion would make them seal perfectly during flight. Even the fuel system presented unique challenges. The tanks leaked on the ground but became airtight when heat expanded them during flight. Pilots flying the Blackbird faced conditions comparable to space travel. They wore full-pressure suits similar to those worn by astronauts, connected to onboard oxygen systems. The cockpit resembled a space capsule more than a traditional aircraft interior. At operational altitudes, the sky appeared black even at noon. Temperatures outside reached -70 degrees Fahrenheit, while the cockpit maintained a comfortable 60 degrees. Flying the SR-71 required constant attention. Minor errors could prove catastrophic at such extreme speeds. Navigation relied on a state-of-the-art astro-inertial system, referencing stars to maintain course. Pilots described the experience as flying a computer that occasionally allowed human input. The plane's performance envelope was so extreme that conventional jet engines couldn't operate efficiently across all speed ranges. Engineers solved this with revolutionary variable geometry inlets that adjusted airflow automatically as speed increased. Operational missions demonstrated the Blackbird's capabilities. The SR-71 conducted reconnaissance flights over North Vietnam during the late 1960s, providing intelligence no other aircraft could gather. It routinely flew over hostile territory, including Soviet airspace, relying on speed and altitude to avoid interception. Soviet MiG fighters attempting intercepts found they couldn't reach the Blackbird's altitude, and those that did couldn't match its speed. Surface-to-air missiles launched against the SR-71 invariably arrived too late. The plane was already out of range by the time they reached its altitude. During one mission over Libya, the Blackbird evaded 6 missiles fired simultaneously by simply accelerating. Intelligence gathered by these flights included photographic coverage of Soviet naval bases, missile sites, and other strategic targets. The information proved critical during Cold War confrontations like the Cuban Missile Crisis. The SR-71's specifications fueled speculation about extraterrestrial technology. Its performance seemed impossibly advanced compared to contemporary aircraft. Conspiracy theorists noted similarities between reported UFO characteristics and the Blackbird's capabilities. Some speculated the plane incorporated reverse-engineered alien technology. Though no evidence supports this, the extreme secrecy surrounding its development at Area 51 only added to these rumors. Witnesses who glimpsed the aircraft during testing often described it as unlike anything they'd seen before. What's certain is that the principles proven by the Blackbird, extreme speed, high altitude, and reduced detectability, remain cornerstones of aerial reconnaissance. Whether any aircraft currently operational can match the SR-71's legendary performance remains one of Area 51's best-kept secrets. F-117 Nighthawk, the first stealth fighter. The F-117 Nighthawk represented a radical departure from traditional aircraft design when it emerged from Area 51's secret hangars. Its faceted surfaces and angular geometry looked more like a spaceship than a conventional plane. Lockheed engineers calculated that this unusual shape would scatter radar waves rather than reflecting them back to detection systems. Early tests proved startlingly effective. The Nighthawk registered on radar screens as an object no larger than a small bird. Development began in 1975 under absolute secrecy as part of the Have Blue program. Even most Air Force personnel remained unaware of the project's existence for over a decade. Test flights occurred exclusively at night under radio silence, leading workers to nickname it the Black Jet. Pilots assigned to the program lived double lives, telling families they flew unremarkable cargo planes. Maintenance crews worked in windowless hangars with strict compartmentalization. The few who saw the Nighthawk during early testing often described it as flying in impossible ways, contributing to UFO rumors around Area 51. Reports of triangular-shaped crafts in the Nevada desert suddenly made sense when the Air Force finally unveiled the F-117 in 1988. After 13 years of total secrecy, the military acknowledged developing the world's first operational stealth fighter. The Nighthawk's combat debut came during the 1991 Gulf War. F-117 flew over 1,300 sorties, striking high-value Iraqi targets with pinpoint accuracy. Their ability to evade radar allowed them to attack heavily defended areas with near impunity. Iraqi air defenses often didn't detect the planes until bombs were already striking their targets. The Nighthawk's success demonstrated stealth technology's battlefield value, changing modern warfare forever. One mission involved penetrating Baghdad's layered defenses to destroy a communications bunker in the city center, a feat no conventional aircraft could achieve without unacceptable risk. Despite its capabilities, the F-117 had limitations. The radical design sacrificed aerodynamics for stealth, making it unstable in flight. A digital fly-by-wire system compensated for this instability, but the plane remained tricky to handle. Maximum speed topped out below Mach 1, far slower than contemporary fighters. The special radar-absorbent coating required intensive maintenance between flights. These factors, combined with the emergence of more advanced stealth aircraft, led to the Nighthawk's retirement in 2008. However, Satellite imagery later showed several F-117s parked at Tonopah Test Range and Area 51 years after their supposed retirement, suggesting continued classified use. The Nighthawk's influence appears in virtually every stealth aircraft that followed. Its design principles informed development of the B-2 Spirit bomber and F-22 Raptor. Engineers later refined the faceted approach into curved surfaces with the F-35 Lightning II, demonstrating how far stealth technology had progressed. Many F-117 innovations remain classified today, particularly details about its radar-absorbent materials and exact stealth performance metrics. The Air Force maintains tight control over declassified information, with several technical manuals still withheld from public release. Recent sightings suggest the Nighthawk story isn't over. Aviation enthusiasts have photographed unidentified aircraft resembling updated F-117 variants flying near Area 51 since 2020. Some analysts believe these could be drones based on the stealth fighter's design or test platforms for next-generation technologies. The military's continued secrecy around these sightings echoes its handling of the original program, neither confirming nor denying anything while advanced projects develop behind closed doors. Area 51's ability to conceal the F-117 for 13 years serves as a reminder that what we know about its current projects likely represents just the tip of the iceberg. The Nighthawk proved stealth aircraft weren't just possible, they could dominate the battlefield. Its successors likely pushed those capabilities even further, under the same shroud of secrecy that first birthed this revolutionary fighter. Bob Lazar, the man who exposed Area 51. In 1989, a man named Bob Lazar walked into a Las Vegas television station with an extraordinary claim. He said he had worked at a secret site near Area 51 called S4, where he reverse-engineered alien spacecraft. Lazar described 9 flying saucers stored in hangars, powered by an unknown element called 115. His story quickly spread through UFO enthusiast circles, becoming one of the most famous Area 51 conspiracy theories. Lazar provided detailed descriptions of the alien craft's propulsion system. He claimed the saucers generated gravity waves by amplifying the strong nuclear force of element 115. This substance wasn't officially recognized at the time, though scientists later synthesized small amounts in laboratories. Lazar said he worked with a team trying to understand and replicate this technology. His accounts included specific details about work schedules, security procedures, and the interior layout of S4. These concrete specifics made his claims more believable to some listeners. Investigators found major issues with Lazar's background. He claimed degrees from MIT and Caltech, but neither school had records of his attendance. His stated employment history with defense contractors didn't match company records. Skeptics pointed out that element 115 didn't exist when he first mentioned it, though some argue this proves his inside knowledge. Journalists trying to verify Lazar's credentials repeatedly hit dead ends. Government agencies neither confirmed nor denied his employment, maintaining their standard silence about Area 51 operations. Lazar's supporters argue the inconsistencies stem from government efforts to discredit him. They note that many legitimate whistleblowers face character attacks after exposing secrets. Some researchers claim Lazar accurately predicted technical details about Area 51 before they became public. His knowledge of classified aircraft testing schedules and locations fueled speculation he had real inside access. UFO documentaries continue featuring his testimony, keeping his story alive decades later. The lack of verifiable witnesses remains a problem for Lazar's claims. He says other scientists worked with him at S4, but none have come forward. Former Area 51 employees who have spoken publicly deny knowledge of alien technology programs. Physical evidence is equally scarce. No photographs or documents from S4 have surfaced. Lazar's former business dealings also raise questions, including his conviction for aiding a prostitution ring before going public about Area 51. Whatever the truth, Lazar permanently changed Area 51's public image. His accounts turned the base from a suspected spy plane testing site into the supposed home of recovered UFOs. The military's refusal to directly address his claims amplified their impact. When asked about Lazar during congressional testimony, officials simply said they don't discuss who works at classified facilities. This evasion became standard practice for all UFO-related inquiries. Recent developments have reignited interest in Lazar's story. Some scientists now theorize about propulsion systems resembling what he described. The Pentagon's gradual acknowledgement of UFO investigations lends indirect credence to his claims about secret programs, yet hard evidence remains elusive. Area 51's continuing secrecy ensures Lazar's allegations can neither be fully proven nor completely disproven. His story remains suspended in that gray area between fact and fiction where conspiracy theories thrive. Lazar continues maintaining his claims decades later, though he avoids most media attention. His original interviews still circulate online, inspiring new generations of UFO researchers. The mystery persists because it taps into fundamental questions about government transparency. Whether Lazar was a genuine whistleblower, a convincing fabulist, or something in between, his legacy is secure. He transformed Area 51 from a military secret into a cultural phenomenon, representing humanity's deepest questions about what might be out there and what our governments might be hiding. The Camo Dudes, Area 51's silent guardians. The outermost perimeter of Area 51 isn't patrolled by uniformed military police or standard security guards. Instead, unidentified men in desert camouflage monitor the border in unmarked white SUVs. These figures, known online as Camo Dudes, have become an infamous part of the base's mystique. Their vehicles, mostly Jeep Cherokees and Range Rovers, carry no insignia or license plates, just tinted windows and occasional roof-mounted antennas. The guards wear no name tags or unit patches, making it impossible to determine which agency employs them. Some researchers speculate they work for private military contractors like ECHELON or the DOE's Security Division. Others believe they're Air Force personnel operating under unconventional cover. The Camo Dudes operate under strict engagement protocols. They don't approach unless someone crosses the border markers, simple orange posts spaced along the barren landscape. Trespassers first encounter verbal warnings delivered through vehicle loudspeakers. Those who proceed face escalation, including aggressive vehicle maneuvers and drawn weapons. Multiple documentaries have captured these tense encounters. Guards emerging from trucks with rifles leveled, ordering intruders to the ground. While no shootings have been publicly confirmed. Warning signs bluntly state lethal force is authorized. The guards' precise rules of engagement remain classified, leaving observers to guess how far they'll go to protect the perimeter. Their surveillance extends beyond physical patrols. Motion sensors dot the surrounding hills, linked to a central operations center. When sensors trigger, the camo dudes respond within minutes, regardless of weather or time. Night vision equipment and long-range cameras help monitor remote sectors. The entire border functions like a giant trap. Any movement beyond the markers brings an immediate response. This system proved its efficiency during the 2019 Storm Area 51 event, when guards effortlessly intercepted the handful of attendees who actually attempted infiltration. Little verifiable information exists about the guards themselves. Those who've interacted with them report varying accents and mannerisms, suggesting a diverse recruitment pool. Their training appears to emphasize psychological deterrence over brute force. Many encounters involve calculated intimidation, silent staring through binoculars, sudden accelerations toward trespassers, or cryptic warnings about permanent consequences. Former base employees hint that camo dude rotations last 6 months, with personnel cycling through other classified sites afterward. The anonymity is absolute. No guard has ever publicly come forward or been identified. Their effectiveness lies in this ambiguity. Without official insignia, incidents can't be easily traced back to specific agencies. The camo dudes function as plausible deniability incarnate, untraceable operators enforcing boundaries no government entity will formally acknowledge. This system maintains Area 51's culture of secrecy while avoiding direct military confrontation scenarios. Even their nickname, Camo Dudes, reflects the informal yet intimidating vibe they cultivate. They're not soldiers, not cops, just silent figures ensuring one of Earth's most secretive places stays that way. Satellite imagery reveals their infrastructure extends beyond patrols. Guard shacks along remote access roads feature reinforced doors and communication arrays. Underground cables suggest a networked alarm system covering the entire perimeter. Thermal photos show patterns of movement indicating scheduled rotations rather than random patrols. The operation runs with clockwork precision, hinting at elaborate protocols refined over decades. Yet for all their visible presence, the camo dudes remain organizational ghosts, an undocumented security layer for an officially unacknowledged base. Their legend grows with each generation of Area 51 enthusiasts. Some claim the guards plant tracking devices on trespassers' cars. Others whisper about night patrols using experimental optical camouflage. The truth is likely more mundane, but equally unsettling. Ordinary men executing extraordinary security measures without oversight or accountability. They represent the human element of Area 51's secrecy, turning abstract classification into concrete enforcement. Every pointed rifle and stern warning reinforces the base's singular message. Some secrets aren't meant to be discovered. Hangar 18, home of alien technology. Hangar 18 at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base has become one of the most talked about locations in UFO lore. Conspiracy theorists have long claimed this facility housed wreckage from the Roswell crash before it was secretly transferred to Area 51. The hangar's reputation grew so large that it even inspired a 1980 horror movie called Hangar 18, further cementing its place in pop culture as ground zero for alien technology. Yet declassified documents tell a different story, one about advanced aircraft development rather than extraterrestrial artifacts. The military has never officially confirmed or denied any UFO connection to Hangar 18, but records show it was used for classified aircraft research during the Cold War. Projects like the XB-70 Valkyrie bomber and early stealth technology prototypes were tested there. The lack of transparency around these programs created perfect conditions for speculation. When witnesses reported seeing unusual materials being moved in and out of the hangar in the late 1940s, rumors spread that the military was hiding alien spacecraft. The fact that Wright-Patterson served as the headquarters for Project Sign, the Air Force's first official UFO investigation, only added fuel to the fire. Some researchers believe Hangar 18 served as a decoy to draw attention away from more sensitive locations like Area 51. They argue that while Wright-Patterson did handle some recovered materials from Roswell, the most significant finds were moved to Nevada. This theory gained traction when former employees came forward with stories of strange debris being examined at the base. One account described metal fragments that could remember their shape after being crumpled, fueling speculation about alien alloys. The Air Force has dismissed these claims as misunderstandings of classified aerospace projects. The refusal to address UFO rumors directly has kept the mystery alive. Even after the Air Force declassified records regarding Hangar 18's aircraft testing, questions remained about gaps in documentation. Conspiracy theorists point to missing files and redacted reports as evidence of a cover-up. The government's standard response that national security concerns prevent full disclosure has done little to satisfy skeptics. For many, the lack of answers only proves something extraordinary must be hidden there. Hangar 18's mystique extends beyond just UFOs. Its very name has become shorthand for government secrecy in general. When new whistleblowers come forward with claims about hidden technology, they often reference Hangar 18 as an example of what else might be concealed. The facility continues to operate today, still off limits to the public, still sparking debates about what happens inside. Satellite images show ongoing activity, but the nature of the work remains classified. Perhaps the most compelling argument against the alien theory is the existence of real, documented, black projects that could explain the sightings. Experimental aircraft with bizarre designs, advanced materials research, and radar-deflecting technology, all of which were developed at Wright-Patterson, might account for many UFO reports. The truth may be that Hangar 18's secrets are entirely terrestrial, just not what the public was told. Yet as long as the doors stay locked, the legends will persist. The hangar stands as a perfect example of how military secrecy breeds conspiracy theories, not necessarily because something is being hidden, but because people assume it must be. The Rat 55. A modern Area 51 mystery. In recent years, aviation enthusiasts monitoring restricted airspace near Area 51 have reported sightings of a mysterious aircraft designated RAT-55. This heavily modified plane appears to be a converted business jet, likely a Learjet or similar airframe. outfitted with unusual exterior modifications. Observers note the aircraft sports bulbous protrusions along its fuselage and an enlarged nose section, suggesting specialized sensor equipment. The RAT-55 nickname comes from its temporary registration number, N805XA, which some online forums claim stands for Radar Aerial Test, followed by the number 55. Flight tracking data shows the RAT-55 operates primarily in the Nevada test and training range, often flying patterns consistent with radar cross-section testing. These flights typically originate from locations near Area 51, though some reports place it operating out of other classified facilities like Edwards Air Force Base. The aircraft's flight characteristics suggest it's being used to test how different shapes and materials affect radar detection. Aviation analysts speculate the plane might be evaluating stealth coatings or measuring radar signatures of other classified aircraft during test flights. The military's continued silence about the RAT-55 follows its standard protocol for black projects. No government agency has acknowledged the aircraft's existence or purpose, despite multiple sightings and amateur investigations. This lack of official information has led to rampant speculation in UFO circles. Some theorists argue the RAT-55 isn't testing stealth technology at all. They claim it's scanning for alien energy signatures or monitoring UFO activity near Area 51. Others suggest it could be part of a next-generation radar system designed to detect stealth aircraft. Satellite imagery of Area 51 in recent years shows infrastructure that could support the RAT-55's operations. New hangars and radar arrays have appeared at the base, along with what appear to be specialized calibration targets in the desert. Aviation experts note these installations match facilities used for radar signature measurement at other test ranges. The RAT-55's flight patterns often include approaches to these ground installations, supporting the theory that it's collecting radar data rather than conducting anything more exotic. The plane's modifications provide clues about its possible mission. Thermal imaging reveals the RAT-55 generates unusual heat signatures along its fuselage, possibly indicating onboard radar systems or electronic warfare equipment. Photographs show the aircraft carries multiple antenna arrays in unconventional configurations. Some analysts believe these could be part of an advanced radar jamming system, while others suggest they're sensors for measuring electromagnetic fields. The lack of visible weapons hardpoints suggests the RAT-55 is purely a test platform rather than an operational aircraft. Aviation historians point out that the RAT-55 represents a continuation of Area 51's long-standing mission. Similar modified jets have appeared throughout the base's history, dating back to the 1960s when Lockheed used a converted Constellation airliner as a radar test bed. What makes the RAT-55 noteworthy is its appearance during an era when stealth technology is supposedly mature. The aircraft's continued testing implies the military is still developing new radar evasion techniques, possibly for next-generation drones or hypersonic vehicles. The secrecy surrounding the RAT-55 ensures its true purpose remains unknown. Like so many projects associated with Area 51, it exists in that gray area between confirmed military technology and unverified conspiracy theories. Until the government decides to declassify information about this aircraft, which could take decades, observers must piece together clues from flight patterns, visible modifications, and the base's changing infrastructure. The RAT-55 serves as a reminder that Area 51's work continues unabated, even if the nature of that work remains hidden behind layers of classification and speculation. Future satellite images may reveal more about this mysterious aircraft, but for now, it remains one of Area 51's most visible yet least understood ongoing projects. The future of Area 51. What's next? Recent satellite images confirm Area 51 remains an active military testing site, with ongoing construction visible across its Nevada desert facilities. New hangars have appeared near the southern runway, featuring unusual designs that suggest specialized purposes. Analysts note these structures include reinforced roofs and buried sections, possibly indicating underground expansions. The base's perimeter continues expanding too, swallowing more of the surrounding valley into restricted territory. This growth pattern matches historical trends, where increased construction activity precedes major aerospace developments. National security experts speculate current projects focus on hypersonic weapons systems. The U.S. Air Force has publicly acknowledged testing hypersonic vehicles at other Nevada ranges, but Area 51 likely hosts more advanced variants. These aircraft potentially exceed Mach 5 speeds while incorporating next-generation stealth capabilities. Flight tracking data shows unusually fast targets appearing briefly on radar near Groom Lake before disappearing again. Some theorize these could be tests of scramjet technology or unmanned hypersonic drones. Drone technology has become another probable focus area. Observers report increasing numbers of unmanned aircraft operating around the base. Some match known military drones in size and configuration, while others appear completely unidentifiable. Aviation researchers note expanded taxiways and landing pads that could accommodate large drone squadrons. The Pentagon's increasing reliance on unmanned systems suggests Area 51 serves as a development hub for next-generation autonomous weapons. Some projects may involve swarm technology, where multiple drones operate as coordinated units. Artificial intelligence integration presents another frontier for classified testing. Military documents reference AI pilots controlling experimental aircraft at other test ranges. Area 51's secrecy makes it ideal for developing sensitive algorithms without public scrutiny. The base could host projects merging AI with hypersonic tech and stealth to create autonomous weapons platforms. Satellite images show new computing facilities recently constructed near previously identified drone hangars, supporting this theory. Space-related technologies likely factor into current testing. The U.S. Space Force has increased its presence at Nevada bases, with personnel transfers noted through military records. Some aerospace analysts believe Area 51 now tests spaceplane components or orbital surveillance systems. Unusual flight patterns tracked by amateur observers resemble those of known space vehicles during approach and landing phases. The base's isolation and restricted airspace provide perfect conditions for sensitive aerospace research. The slow pace of declassification ensures current projects remain concealed for decades. Historical precedent shows a roughly 30-year lag between development and disclosure. The SR-71 Blackbird's full capabilities still aren't declassified, despite its 1990s retirement. This pattern suggests Anything tested now won't be officially acknowledged until the 2050s. The government continues applying maximum secrecy to Area 51 operations regardless of their actual sensitivity. UFO enthusiasts maintain extraterrestrial research persists at the base despite no concrete evidence. Recent congressional hearings on unidentified aerial phenomena have renewed these claims. Some theorists argue leaked Pentagon videos of unidentified objects demonstrate technology originating from Area 51 reverse engineering programs. The military consistently attributes such sightings to optical illusions or classified aircraft, but admits certain cases remain unexplained. Commercial surveillance technology makes secrecy increasingly difficult to maintain. High-resolution satellite imagery is now publicly available online. Advanced software can analyze subtle changes in facility layouts or flight patterns. Social media enables rapid dissemination of Area 51 observations worldwide. Despite this, the base continues operating effectively by controlling physical access and maintaining strict information compartmentalization. Economic factors suggest continued expansion is inevitable. Defense budgets increasingly prioritize next-generation aerospace projects, where Area 51 specializes. Contractors like Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman maintain facilities near the base for classified work. Job postings referencing unspecified special access programs hint at ongoing recruitment for advanced projects. The military-industrial complex surrounding Area 51 shows no signs of diminishing. Speculation about the base's future ranges from plausible to fantastical. Some aviation experts predict a shift toward spaceplanes and orbital defense systems. Conspiracy theorists anticipate revelations about alien technology or time travel research. More grounded observers expect continued focus on stealth, hypersonics, and AI integration. What remains certain is that Area 51 will keep generating rumors faster than official disclosures can address them. The orange perimeter poles still mark the boundary between known and unknown. As technology advances, so too will the secrecy enveloping this remote desert facility. Future historians may eventually learn what's being developed there today, but contemporary observers can only watch from a distance and wonder. The myths will continue growing in the fertile ground between observable facts and military silence. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you want updates on future Area 51 disclosures. Don't forget to smash the like button to help others find this exploration of the base's possible future projects. Let us know in the comments what you believe is really being developed behind those restricted airspace boundaries today. Your engagement helps support ongoing investigation into one of the world's most secretive locations. The Air Force has constructed new vehicle barriers and monitoring towers around the perimeter in recent months. These upgrades suggest officials anticipate needing enhanced security for whatever comes next. Visitor attempts to approach restricted areas now trigger faster response times from the notorious camo dudes patrols. The base appears to be battening down for another era of profound secrecy and technological leaps. Climate change may impact future operations at the desert facility. Rising temperatures could affect aircraft performance and personnel working conditions. Water scarcity issues might force infrastructure changes at the remote location, yet none of these challenges seem likely to outweigh the advantages that keep Area 51 operational after nearly 70 years. The base's geographic isolation and established secrecy infrastructure remain too valuable to abandon. One thing seems certain: whatever emerges from Area 51 in coming years will follow the historical pattern of appearing first as unidentified sightings, then as conspiracy theories, and eventually as declassified projects decades later. The truth about today's work there exists somewhere between verified facts and the limits of imagination. Only time will reveal how extraordinary or ordinary those revelations prove to be. Until then, the desert keeps its secrets behind guarded gates and razor wire. In conclusion, Area 51 remains one of the world's most enduring mysteries, a classified military facility swallowed by its own mythology. For nearly 70 years, this remote desert base has tested revolutionary aircraft while spawning countless conspiracy theories. The truth likely involves advanced aerospace projects, not alien technology, but we may never know for certain. The government's secrecy ensures speculation will continue. Whether developing hypersonic drones or next-gen stealth aircraft, Area 51's real work remains hidden behind armed patrols and warning signs. Its legacy proves that when facts are scarce, imagination rushes in. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more investigations into history's biggest secrets. Your support helps us keep digging into these classified mysteries. Let us know in the comments what you think really happens inside those guarded Nevada hangars.